I said yes, I saw the thing pop up.
Anyways, jump to your notes to the very end where we kill a squirrel.
Yeah.
We do what?
The best part.
Squirrel cackle.
I went straight home and told my dad to do that.
But he thought it was fun. I bet he wants to build one. Yes, he does. Squirrel catapult on top of a 4-foot fence launches a squirrel with an initial velocity of 70 foot per second. Write the equation that models this squirrel's death. We've done these. I didn't give you the form this time, but we've done these. Well, how's it start?
H parentheses T
Height is a function of time, that's correct.
equals 16? Is it 16 or is it 70?
It's a 16, but there's more to
Okay,
it.
16 squared.
16 squared.
16
Okay,
T squared.
but there's still
4.
negative.
Oh, negative.
It's always been negative 16t squared. It always will be.
And then, can I ask you why?
What's so special about this?
Should you take a physics class, you will learn that projectile motion in a vacuum anywhere in the universe is modeled by height as a function of time is negative 1/2 the pull of gravity times the time squared plus the initial velocity times time plus the initial height. In a vacuum anywhere in the universe, projectile motion is modeled by that format. On Earth, the pull of gravity is 32 foot per second per second. Take half of that, you get 16.
Okay, got it.
That makes a lot of sense.
So it should. So on Earth it's 16. On Mars it's totally different.
Yeah, on the moon it's different. On Jupiter it's different.
Just how it's like.
But the theory is that that models anywhere in the universe in a vacuum. Okay, we're only in algebra 2, so we're not even trying to talk about air resistance.
This is
All right.
universal. This is planetary.
All right, plus what?
70t.
Plus 70t,
And plus 4.
plus 4.
I even named 16.
Just for that little physics equation off the side. Negative 1/2 g d squared plus bt plus height. Anywhere in the universe. Vacuum. That's the equation. As far as we know.
You never had anger with math?
Anger? Why would it be angry at something I'm good at?
Facts.
Not even once in your life.
That's funny.
If I can't figure it out, there's no reason to be angry, just better figure it out. All right, 2 is at what time will the squirrel be at least 70 foot in the air? Where's the 70 going to go?
What time will this will be?
Okay, guys, I don't have time for this. Where's the 70 going to go? 70 foot.
So at the end. At the end of the equation.
End? Do you mean the beginning?
No, I'm at h times t.
That's
the beginning.
Replaces height. Now, the wording at least showed up. Doesn't say where is it, when is it. It says at least. So it's got to be above that.
So bare minimum.
Greater than or equal to something. When you see the word at least, you're thinking the greater than or equal to symbol. But the question is, what's going to be greater than or equal to? The equation or 70?
Oh, the equation.
The equation. Because the equation is the squirrel's height. We want it to be greater than or equal to 70. Now, could you one-side this and do the quadratic formula? Could you? Yes, that's how you do it by hand. You set it equal to 0, you do the quadratic formula. I am going to show you how to do it in TI-84.
No.
What you're going to do with your TI-84 is you're going to put this guy into Y1. You're going to put all of this into Y2. So you need to do this, kids. This is literally how you cheat your way through algebra 2. I mean that. You don't know algebra? You don't have to. You have to know how to use a graphing calculator. I really wish I hadn't told you that, but that's the way it is. So put a 70 in Y1, put the rest of it in Y2. Make sure there's no typos. Make sure you're using the negative symbol instead of the minus symbol. All different. The negative symbol is fighting entropy. I got the black and white calculator up here. You guys have the nice color ones.
Is this what I'm getting quadratic? Okay.
Does Mary have a window set for you?
Oh, Windows?
Your calculator's newer. Anyways, I've got to go through a certain process. Most of your calculators have been used by other classes. You need to know how to adjust your windows. I want you, after you get this typed in, to hit zoom and then 6. Always need to start off with a standard window. I think we got this far Monday,
Oh,
didn't we? Always do a zoom 6.
We were on the very end of messing with the windows.
I thought we did mess with the windows.
We were messing with the windows, but
Okay, one question, one person entering, we're gonna know. All right? Do a zoom 6. What you guys see is the red, part of the red parabola, right? Goes up, comes down. Why don't you see that 70-foot line?
because we aren't tall enough.
We're not looking up high enough. Now, if you look at that window on the counter, it only goes up 10 places. Hit window. And you have X min, X max, Y min, Y max. What enables you to look up?
Y max.
Y max. In order to see crossing 70 foot, what? 75, just go bigger, go 100. You actually like to leave yourself space, which as you do this throughout the year, you'll understand why you do it. Make your Y max 100. Bigger than 70 is the big deal. And now what you guys will see is your red parabola and a blue horizontal line intersecting. Don't ever hit zoom again. Ever. You get your window looking like that and you'll be happy with it. Okay? If you hit zoom 6, you've got to go back and adjust your window settings.
So where do I do from here?
Have you set your Y max to be 100? Hit graph.
Okay.
I may not have set it. I've had a long day and I'm tired. All right, so that's the window you got. Hopefully you understand what it's trying to tell you. I know some kids look at graphs and they just don't have a clue what's going on.
So somewhere around like 1.5.
But anywhere from here to here on that interval is the squirrel's height at least 70 foot. Yes, he's above it. You need to find those times. And that's where the parabola intersects the horizontal line. The key word is on intersect. Parabola intersects the horizontal line. So I would like to know what this time is, and I would like to know what that time is.
1.4.
Don't guess.
I'm not guessing though.
You hit second trace. Unless you hit second trace, you were guessing. You just hit trace, you were guessing. You hit second trace. I was talking about the word intersect. Do you see it? Choose it. I hope you're playing along with this, because if you're not, you're just not going to remember how to do it. Even playing along, you're going to struggle. You'll have a blinking cursor. Get it close to the left intersection, and then press enter 3 times. Doesn't have to be on the money, just has to be close. Enter, enter, enter. There's the exact time. 1.375 seconds.
Wow.
That's 1.375 seconds. Is there another intersection?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go through the same process. Hit second, trace, intersect. And you take that cursor and you get it close to the second intersection. And just like before, how many times you press enter? 3. That's all you do. You should get 3 seconds on the money. Now, if you've actually done a little work in here, is this easier than doing the quadratic formula? Yes. If you haven't done any work, you probably still think this is hard. It's not. It does not get any easier than this. This is the easiest way to do these problems. Promise you that. So we have a time of 3 seconds. Writing this answer is a lot like that domain question you'll ask me. You have to answer inequalities with inequalities. All inequalities are answered with inequalities. You have a left time of 1.375 seconds. You have a write time of 3, and the time has to be stuck in between them. And what's the symbolism going to be?
T,
Well, T is in between them.
less than or equal to.
They're always less than, and if you have equality, you make them equal. Always that way. If you've got a start and a stop, you always do the variable in the middle. You always do less than symbols. If there's equality, you make them less than equal. That's how it works. Should have caught on to that by now. Maybe some of you have. Part 3 is when will the squirrel reach max altitude? I see a keyword max. You see a keyword max?
Yeah.
Second trace.
Maximum.
What function?
Maximum.
Don't get all button hungry. I'll be here thinking you know what you're doing. Second trace maximum. Don't do anything after that yet. Don't start doing your left bound, right bound, even though we might have done it the other day. If you did, you need to quit out and do it again. If you look in the upper left-hand corner, where does it say your cursor is?
No.
Y1. Y1 is not a quadratic. It doesn't have a vertex, does it?
No.
Where do you need your cursor to be?
Y2.
Where you put the quadratic. Hit the down arrow once. So that it says your cursor is in Y2. Only quadratics have maximums. Well, not only quadratics. Right now, only quadratics have maximums. So once your cursor says you're in Y2, you can worry about the whole left bound, right bound thing. Left boundary means get your cursor to the left of the maximum. And you press the enter key when you do that. Your calculators will show a horizontal line there. Now it wants a right boundary. Take the cursor and move it to the right. Press enter. And now it wants a guess.
Enter.
Enter. There's your maximum. Happens in 2.19 seconds. That's the x value. And what's the height?
80.5.
80.56. Time is roughly 2.19 seconds. And the height is roughly 80.56 feet. All right, last part of this thing. And by the way, there's a question like this on your test. It's about a kid being launched in a catapult. He sucks at math and he grew up in Russia. They did that kind of stuff. They killed a lot of people, still do. They have literally released their prisoners to go fight in the Ukraine war, hoping to drain the Ukrainians of bullets. That's the whole point. Run out of ammunition. That's how they won World War II, by the way. Run out of ammunition. You've read history, that's right. The squirrel hits the ground when height is what?
0.
0 must equal negative 16t squared plus 70t plus 4. Now, if you didn't want to use this as a calculator, what would you have to do? Quadratic formula. That's your choice. This or that. Pick one. We're going to leave this in Y2. We're going to replace that 70 with a 0. Before you look at the graph, where is your calculator going to draw a horizontal line?
No.
At the x
The
coordinate.
x-axis, where y is 0. You're going to see your blue line show up on the x-axis. I won't see that. I just have to know it's there. Don't hit zoom 6 after you got your window nice. Your window is perfect. Your window already showed you roughly when the squirrel was going to hit the ground, didn't it? So you guys have your parabola and then you have your blue line. The squirrel dies when that blue line intersects the parabola on which side, the left or the right?
Right.
On the right side. The key word there is intersect. Second trace, 5.
Wait, 5?
Second trace 5, intersections. Get your cursor close, and just like before, how many times you press enter when you're close?
3.
3. It's that easy. And there's going to be a lot of kids, I mean, even 2 months from now, still not going to be able to use the intersect feature. I don't know why.
What am I supposed to do? Sorry. What am I supposed to do? Which one am I supposed to do?
The one on the right, where the scroll dies. Get your cursor close and press enter 3 times.
Okay. Unless it doesn't. Oh no.
What's wrong?
Somebody's my stud. 4.43. Okay, I just don't all.
No, you don't. Look at your numbers, Abby. You got frustrated with yourself. 4.43 seconds is the x value, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. You're getting frustrated. X is about 4.43 seconds. Did anybody have anything funny in y?
Yeah.
What'd you have funny in y?
-1 to the power of -11.
You had -1. You probably had e to the -11.
Yes.
Do you know what that is?
No,
Don't you guys like chemistry more than this class?
I hate.
I don't think we've been taught E.
Yeah, you have. You were taught this in like 6th grade. It's scientific notation. If you get some funny stuff like this in the calculator, it's 1 times 10 to the -11th power. How many zeros are in front of that -1? It's 0, isn't it?
Oh, that. Okay.
Isn't that basically 0?
Yeah.
It's a rounding error the calculator does. If you see funny stuff like that, it's just 0. That's all it is. You understand that, right? Is that not taught in chemistry?
No. It's just that we reminded it.
Do I
this
need to
year.
integrate math and chemistry for y'all?
We
Because
were
I can
reminded
do
this
it.
year. I understand. I remember.
It won't be none of that easy level crap y'all do.
Well, we're in the class at least.
I don't mean any disrespect to Ms. Abbott, it's high school chemistry. High school chemistry is easy crap.
Yes.
No disrespect to the teachers. All right, so we are on the second slide of the notes now on the webpage. So yeah, this is the end of Unit 4. In Unit 4, we've looked at 3 forms of quadratics: standard, vertex, and intercept. Anybody know what standard form of a quadratic looks like?
A2 or x2. Just one.
Ax squared is part of it.
Ax squared plus b squared. Wait.
No.
B. Bx plus c.
If you're going to graph something, what's it set equal to?
A 0.
H.
Y.
Oh.
Some function name. It could be y, h of t, f of x. Y generally don't. That's standard form. What's vertex form?
Opposite B.
Nope.
X.
Nope.
A.
Nope.
Okay.
There is an a involved. And I'll start you off. It's y equals a.
Y equals A parentheses X minus H squared plus K.
That's vertex form. Last one's intercept form.
Is this what the absolute value is?
No, that would be absolute value. We're on quadratics. Absolute value is the v's,
Is that the P?
not the parabolas. It's the p's and q's.
Is it,
P's and Q's
Y
just mean
equals,
most
is that the A in front still?
They all have an a. There is
Y.
always, guess what? An a.
Y equals X minus P.
X minus p times
X minus Q.
x minus q. P and q are what?
X coordinates.
X intercepts.
X intercepts.
You're going to see the wording for x-intercepts change a lot. There's 3 different common things. The first one is not because you live in the South. It's very common to call x-intercepts roots. So I got this thing out here, our roots known. Roots are x-intercepts, also known as zeros. You know why we also call them zeros? Why would you call an x-intercept a zero?
Because it's on the line, the x coordinate line.
It is 0.
Because it has y at 0.
Yeah, because y is 0.
No.
On the x-axis, that's y. That's why they also know zeros. So keep that in mind. If you go up north, they still call them roots. And we'll get to
Nice
it.
spell.
Huh?
Right.
R-O-O-T-S. R-O-O-T-S. It's written out for you, Abby. It's actually typed out for you. Roots.
It sounded like you were saying ruts.
I'm chewing gum and talking. All right, here's our first example. Write a quadratic function for the parabola shown. What do you know about this quadratic? Or this parabola?
The absolute value lies at 1.
There is no absolute value. It is not a v.
Well, the line of symmetry, it's at 1, yeah, it's at 1.
Okay, that would be useful if I needed it. The vertex is known. Right, Marley? What's the vertex? No, look at your graph. Casey, where's the vertex? 1, -2. Wake up! I'm going to change this 0.32 off to the side because it makes this problem too easy to be 3-2. I don't want you to think these are all meant to be easy. So just pretend that the 0.45 exists on this graph. All right? Pretend it exists. Use your imagination, kids. Pretend it's there. You know, the vertex is at 1, -2. You also have this other point, which we'll come back to in a second. Because of what we know about this graph, she'll be using vertex for intercept form. You has vertex, kids. If you has vertex, you use vertex.
Okay.
It's not a trick question. You use vertex form. By all means, write that thing down until you know it. Y is a times x minus h all squared plus k. You are sadly in a formula-intensive class.
What's that mean? Based around formulas.
It's based around formulas. There's not a thing I can do about that. In fact, I have no idea how you'd learn Algebra 2 without formulas. Now, what can you replace h and k with?
Plus 1 and 2. And minus 2.
It would be x minus 1 squared. What happens when you enter parentheses with a number? Changes. And if it doesn't enter parentheses, leave it alone. So if somebody gives you the equation y equals a times x minus 1 squared minus 2, can you graph it? Why not, Casey? You don't have your average rate change. You don't have a.
You're plugging x and y.
There you go. If you guys are reading, you're not going to FOIL it out. You're not going to distribute. You need to do this part right here. To write an equation, you need at least 2 points. That's what the other point's for. You've got this 0.45. What does it give you? That's what the 0.45 tells you. Everywhere you see a y, you get to be a 5. And everywhere you see an x, what do you get to be? 4. Casey tried the bonus on that graphing quiz. I think that's why she has an idea what's going on. A lot of y'all haven't been trying the bonuses on the graphing quizzes. You would actually know how to do this already if you'd watch the video and pay attention to what's being taught. Now, this takes it from a 3-variable equation to a 1-variable equation. What's attached to A?
Wait, no.
I don't either, because it ain't 4.
9.
9A. Take away a 2. Opposite subtraction's addition. What's on the left now?
7.
7 is 9A. Y'all need to wake up. I've had 3.5 hours of sleep. What is y'all excuse? What are you going to divide by?
9.
9. What's your A value?
7, 9.
7 9ths. If you stop here, I can't give you credit for it. What's the actual equation?
Y equals 7, 9. And x minus 1 squared minus 2.
Sounds good to me. That's something I could graph. And ideally, most of y'all could too. Because you're supposed to be able to. All right, that one's done. On to the next one. This is why we call them roots. What happens here at these x-intercepts?
You don't have a line.
No, we start going underground, don't we? That's why we call them roots. That's where the parabola starts going underground. Yeah, that's right. We have our roots. We're going to use intercept form. So does everybody understand we have our roots or our x-intercepts or our zeros? So we get to use intercept form. And again, if you don't know it, keep writing it till you do. Y is a times x minus p times x minus q. It's very useful in the next chapter. By the way, I'm like a unit off pace. For those of you who think I'm going too fast, I'm going to have to speed up for you.
That is wonderful.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to. What can you replace p with?
Plus 1.
There you go. It's y equals a times x plus 1. That's one of the factors. What's the other factor?
-6.
X minus 6. Those are factors too, by the way, aren't they?
Yeah.
What's wrong with it now?
You have to plug in the,
4, 5.
There you go. That guy right there. Plug into 4, 5. She was shaking her hand at it.
get my legs out.
I don't feel bad. I can't either. Oops, I didn't even plug it in. I plugged in y, but not x. X is 4, right?
Yes.
Figure out what's attached to a. What's attached to a?
-10.
It is -10. What's that make my a value?
-1/2.
-1/2. The arithmetic get you?
No, wondering. Really don't know.
All right, what's your actual full equation?
Y equals -1/2 times x plus 1 times x minus 6.
Hopefully this is something easy for y'all. Oh, by the way, for those of you who are going to do the homework packet, you're going to have to do 35 through 38 on your own. I recorded those particular questions twice, and both times something went wrong. God wills you to do 35 through 38 on your own. I am not going to do it a third time.
What happened?
I don't know, the videos were messed up. God says the kids have to figure something out, and I'm listening to him. Huh?
Have you recorded anything after that?
I've recorded the whole homework packet. I've recorded part of it twice, and 2 times in a row it messed up.
Anything after that?
It's all done.
All of it except for those two.
4.
Those 4.
I'm just wondering if this video recording is going to get corrected.
Well, if it is, so be it. God wills it. All right, here we have some domestic terrorism.
Oh, lovely. Yes.
Let's say Coach K's.
That's what it says.
Hey, I TP'd his house last year.
Student TPs Coach K's tree. Let's assume the following. The tree is 18 foot tall, which is it not? It is not, obviously. It's much bigger than that. But I wanted the numbers small for y'all. Toilet paper is thrown when the student's arm is 4 foot off the ground. The toilet paper clears the tree by 2 foot and hits the ground 18 foot from where the student stood. Write an equation in standard form modeling this act of domestic terrorism.
Oh, so
This is domestic terrorism.
we're
Yeah.
not doing that.
That's how they would classify it.
Oh. There's
It's-
vandalism.
Is there any difference?
I don't know what that means.
Anyways, what do you know about your little parabola? What do you have?
The problem is there.
X coordinate and the x coordinate
And the intercept.
I have an x-intercept. How many do you need to use intercept form? 2. I have an x-intercept.
Don't you
Again,
have a vertex?
I have a vertex. So what form are we going to use? No,
Vertex.
we use vertex form. I understand it wants standard form, but you can't use it off the bat. You can use vertex form. That gets some kids. They want to use standard form. You have no idea how to use standard form. Nobody's ever going to show you because this is how you do it. You take something that you can do and you rewrite it. You're going to use that guy. What can you replace H and K with?
-0.
No, where's the 7? H is 7, kids. What's K?
I said K.
And K is not 0. The vertex is the highest or lowest point of a parabola? Vertex is at 720. Now, last couple of examples, we've had to figure out A by doing what? Plugging in a point. Well, we have two. For those of you that you think you have 3 points, is 7, 0 on the parabola. You have this guy or you have that guy. 0, 4 is fine. Everywhere you see a Y, you're a 4, and everywhere you see an X, you're a 0. By the way, for those of you not taking notes, it aggravates me. If you ever see me all the time, I'm always doing this with my hands. My hands hurt 24/7 every time the school year starts because I'm typing or writing. If I can literally go through the entire day in pain, you can take notes. It's mainly the typing that gets me. You can write a little bit because I am literally in physical pain on your behalf. Crank out the numbers. What's attached to A? 49. Hopefully you understand the setup. Then you can just do the easy algebra. What you gonna do with your 20? Subtract it. What you gonna divide by? So what's your A value? Now, if I was designing a test, I would make this an answer. And I would laugh as every kid picks it. Why would it be wrong? Huh?
You can put it in standard
I
form.
didn't put it in standard form. What did it want?
One in standard form. It didn't want whatever answer you gave.
Wants that.
What's the pork, not the ham?
How do you take what you have and put it in standard form?
Make it organized, I'd like to say.
Well, you
You're mathful kid.
times by X minus 7 times by.
You work it out.
I think Abby, in case you're both saying what to do, Abby is mentioning taking X minus 7 and writing it twice.
Yeah.
That's what you do. When you go back to when they first started teaching you guys how to square numbers, when somebody asked you for the first time in your life what 4 squared is, they probably said, write down 4 times 4. That's probably what they said. Now we're asking what X minus 7 squared is. And this hasn't been, I don't know why this guy put in the notes, but usually there's some reading notes that talks about one of them method. What would Jesus do? If Jesus saw this, he would FOIL. If the devil saw this, he would tell you that it's X squared minus 49. It's not. And a lot of kids, they just don't write it twice. They just assume, and they get it wrong every time. But Jesus would FOIL. And if Jesus FOILed X minus 7 times X minus 7, what would Jesus get?
X squared minus 7x minus 14x plus 12.
That's exactly what Jesus would get. I didn't show all the work there because we're not supposed to. Negative 7 under negative 7, that's negative 14. If you can't FOIL, watch a video. Like in Math BFF FOIL. Pretty girl will teach you how to FOIL. All right, what's up next?
Bench formulas? Or we're still doing this, okay.
Distributive property. What's a negative 16/49 times X squared?
Then 1649x squared.
That's easy. Try not to do the rest of this with the calculator. I know a lot of you guys do that. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to visualize it in your head and think about simplification.
Oh, I know.
49 and 14 are both divisible by 7, aren't they?
Yeah.
That becomes negative 2, that becomes 7. What's 16 times negative 2?
Negative 32.
It's actually going to be positive.
Wait, oh yeah, I got it.
They're both negative. And when you distribute a negative 16/49 to a 49 over an understood 1, what happens?
Negative 16.
49's cancel. Learn how to use that blank piece of paper you have up in your head. Visualize it, kids. And now you can finally put the negative 16 and 20 together, and what do you get? Plus 4. I ran out of room, so I'm just going to put that there. Plus 4. Now it's in SE form. And the last one I'm going to do with you. Boy, I've gotten close. It's a calculator problem. It is the airball, kid, the bench warmer. A basketball goes up in the air and it goes down. It's a parabola, which means you can model it using quadratic equations. Your calculator can do these if you have 3 good points. Your calculator will give you standard form if you have 3 good points. On your last test, there was a problem about too much TikTok and anime and what it did to your grades. Remember doing that problem? It was done in a calculator. If you did it, you pressed stat, and what did you do?
Edit.
You edit, and you put some stuff into list 1 and list 2. You know what you put in list 1?
X's.
X's. It's always X's. That means list 2 is going to be your Y's. If you're using one of my calculators, all your stuff is probably in there already. Stat, edit. That's what you should have in list 1 and list 2. Those came from those 3 points I picked out down there. I picked them out for you. Now, after you had typed stuff in, you were doing linear regression then. I don't know if you remember that or not. It was lines of best fit. You went to stat, calc, where?
2 down, 9.
I don't think you went all the way down to 9, but you
8.
I thought it was 2 down from console.
no, you're thinking about matrices.
That was something else.
Oh,
You press stat, calc, and you were going to 4, linear regression. But this isn't a line. What are you going to pick?
8.
5.
Oh.
But these are
Quadratic
quadratics.
regression. Okay.
Okay, kids, here's a dumb joke for you to help you remember what a quadratic looks like. What do baby quadratics drink?
Milk. Formula.
Quadratic formula. Dad joke right there, right? You can choose 5, quadratic. Scroll down to calculate. There is a question on your test that involves knowing how to do that. Stat, calc, quadratic. And from there, all you do is you pick out A, B, and C. It even gives you standard form, doesn't it?
Yes.
Like I would let A be negative 0.119. I'd probably go 3 decimal places. B would be 2.095, and C would be 4.786. And that is going to be your instruction. You guys do have a test coming up Friday, and you need to be able to take that thing in 48 minutes. So if you take the twin, if you do the twin, you don't think you can do it in 48 minutes. You print off another twin, and you do it again. And if you still don't think you can do it in 48 minutes, you do it again.
Continue to cry.
Your lack of preparation is not my issue. I don't even mean that mean. I know how fast kids can work. I was a kid. It's all about preparation. You want to complain about being slow? Don't prepare. Your twin is due Friday, by the way. Also, something else while I still have you in here. After you do the twin by hand, either doing it by yourself or watching me, I highly suggest you watch another particular video that I posted Friday or Saturday. I'm pulling it up. This thing will load. That little video right there. How to cheat with a TID4. Should probably watch it. Or don't. It's your grade. With good internet. Huh? Yeah, they're on the back. You didn't get the twin. Well, I better get you a twin.